In a striking and enigmatic natural phenomenon that has left scientists and onlookers alike in awe, a remote waterfall has seemingly devoured nearly half of the mighty Brule River. This intriguing event in a remote part of the planet has puzzled specialists and piqued the interest of people fascinated by the mysterious scene. In this video, we'll explore this mesmerizing and strange phenomenon, where nature's powers take center stage and leave us with more questions than answers. Join us to discover nature's marvels in the Brule River's clear waters. Before that, watch the video till the end and subscribe to our channel. Also, press the bell icon for future updates. Let's get started. What is the Devil's Kettle Falls? In the heart of Minnesota, nestled along the rugged shoreline of Lake Superior, lies a geological enigma that has intrigued hikers and scientists for generations. Devil's Kettle Falls. This amazing natural wonder reveals a mysterious story that has captivated both new visitors and experienced geologists. When looking at this amazing sight, you can see how a river changes as it gets closer to the edge of the falls. The waterway splits into two separate tracks. On one side, it flows gracefully down a strong stone wall, following the classic path of a waterfall. On the other side, however, something highly unusual happens. The river suddenly disappears into a deep hole, as if the earth itself swallowed it, and it never even existed. This leaves us with a deep sense of wonder and a lot of unanswered questions, which all add to Devil's Kettle Falls' amazing mystery. The mystery of Devil's Kettle Falls. The beautiful Devil's Kettle Falls is in Judge Clarence R. Magny State Park, which is right next to the border between the United States and Canada. Here, the Brule River makes its way and falls 800 feet over an 8-mile stretch of beautiful scenery, forming several beautiful waterfalls. The most amazing part of this natural beauty is a 1.5 miles north of the calm shores of Lake Superior, where a rough area of rhyolite rock bravely splits the river in two. On the western edge, there is a geological mystery that draws you in. Yet on the eastern side, there is a waterfall that runs normally and gracefully. This is where you'll find Devil's Kettle, a huge hole that suddenly swallows up half of the Brule River and leaves behind a confusing question. Where does the water go? There has been a strong opinion among researchers and interested parties for many years that there must be an underground exit point under the huge Lake Superior. Even though many people have tried, including putting dyes, ping pong balls, road signs, and even logs into Devil's Kettle, these things have never come back up in the calm lake. Someone bravely and impressively went 26 feet down into the abyss and reported that the bottom was always out of reach, adding to the mysterious appeal of Devil's Kettle Falls. Geological puzzles and speculations. The mystery of Devil's Kettle makes us want to learn more about geological secrets that are beyond the ordinary. The huge amount of water that disappears into the depths every minute defies normal reasoning. While the idea of an underground river sounds interesting, the rocks in northern Minnesota make this idea very difficult to believe. This area, on the other hand, is mostly made up of solid granite rocks, while other places have softer rocks like limestone. Geologists have carefully looked into the idea that tectonic forces are shaping a water-permeable network underground, but they haven't found any signs of fault lines nearby. To make things even more complicated, the constant flow of waste from violent storms and erosion, such as large boulders and old trees, makes it very hard to find a hidden drainage path. A different theory floats on the edge of possibility. It says that a huge lava tube secretly formed thousands of years ago under the waterfall, deep in the confusing rock layer below the surface. This idea says that over very long periods, the constant degrading power of water may have carefully cut a path straight to the huge Lake Superior. However, this theory also has some problems because the local basalt is mostly flooding basalt, which is defined by a spreading, sheet-like shape, which is different from the usual idea of lava tubes. There are hundreds of visible basalt beds in the area, but no known lava tubes have been found. Devil's Kettle has been a mystery for a long time, and it still does. Its natural puzzles call to us to solve them. Destination of the disappearing water. The unexplainable event at Devil's Kettle Falls has long sparked people's interest, leading to many ideas that try to explain it. While some thought the water was flowing into neighboring Canada, Others thought it might have been a secret spring deep below the surface. Although the ideas were very different, they all had one thing in common. The water moved away from the river for no clear reason, leaving half of the river's flow unaccounted for. In February 2017, at a turning point, the Minnesota Department of Natural Resources made a shocking discovery. Their confident claims that the water that went into the mysterious Devil's Kettle pothole came back upstream disproved the wild ideas that were popular at the time. It was based on a careful examination of water flow measurements taken above and below the falls. The results showed almost identical data, with no visible water loss below Devil's Kettle, which supported the idea that the water did indeed come back upstream. As a result, in the fall of 2017, determined researchers set out on a big mission to finally solve the puzzle. Low water flow was used for the dye trace experiment. The scientists wanted to find out where the mysterious Devil's Kettle pothole led by putting a biodegradable bright dye in it. The dye was supposed to show up again downstream from the falls, showing that Devil's Kettle wasn't a portal to another world, but rather a temporary stopping place for the river's waters. The enigmatic curtain over Devil's Kettle Falls was slowly lifting, letting science and interest illuminate the elusive location of the water's disappearance, exposing the myth of disappearing objects. When you look into the mysterious disappearance of items in Devil's Kettle, you are drawn into the complex web of natural forces and how they mysteriously interact with each other. Interested people have been looking for answers to the strange case of things that seem to have been swallowed by this mysterious whirlpool for a long time. In the field of science and geological wonders, on the other hand, secrets are often solved by looking closely at nature. As you get closer to the bottom of this mystery, it becomes clear that the Devil's Kettle doesn't hide a supernatural pit, but rather a complex web of changing processes. In the very middle of the pit is where the answer to this puzzle lies. The diving pool under the kettle is not a still reservoir. It is a raging whirlpool with rough recirculating currents that put a lot of pressure on the water. This water tornado has so much power that it breaks up things like ping pong balls and anything else that gets thrown into it. Then these broken pieces stay underwater, caught in the whirlpool's relentless grip, until they finally come to the surface downstream, far from where they started. By showing this natural event, we solve the long-standing mystery of the things that seem to disappear inside Devil's Kettle. It's not magic or a break in the rules of science. It's just an amazing show of how powerful nature is. After learning this, the mysterious no longer interests me as much as the awe-inspiring beauty of nature. Even the most mysterious events can be explained through scientific study and a deep appreciation for how complicated our planet's geological wonders are. Even after the dyed experiment, Devil's Kettle Falls remains a mystery. The experiment may solve this puzzle, but Devil's Kettle Falls is still magnificent. The Brule River's mysterious tunnel between Devil's Kettle and the stream below draws people to nature's mysteries. That's all for today's video. I hope you liked the video. Subscribe and hit the bell icon for more updates. Thanks for watching.